What's up, guys? Welcome back to r.Gaming on After the Storm. We are doing, today, we're going to do it's going to be kind of a two-part video, really. It'll be a bit lengthier, but doing a little bit of NHL 2005 stuff just before we end up starting that series. I wanted to, one, show off the rosters, because there's a Facebook group that a lot of people actually said they wanted to see the rosters, so we're going to do that. I'm going to do that through the franchise mode because I think it's the best way to go about it. It just seems like the roster screen itself isn't great for it. I'll say that much. I'll bring this up here. It's just not great. It doesn't have, one of the biggest ones is it just doesn't have it sorted by, you know, like, oops, I don't want to do that. It doesn't have it sorted by overalls, as you can see here as I'm going through. That's probably super loud. Alright, so I changed that up just so you guys don't hear that so much as we go through the rosters, but basically, yeah, it's not the best way to go about it, I think, because they just don't sort, and I don't believe there's any way to sort them, so I'm going to do it through a franchise mode. There's a little bit of weird stuff, though. I'm going to show you guys some stuff here in free agency. Most of these guys are all real players, and then you get down here and you start seeing some weird names. Let's see here. There's Rick Campanelli, who's not a hockey player. He's just I believe he was just a broadcaster. I think he hosted like ET Canada or something. So I'm going to move him because he's not an actual player. Even though if you look at his player thing, he looks like garbage. So, I mean, yeah. But I'm going to move him probably just to one of the European teams or something and just get rid. There's also like Jim Houston and Craig Simpson. Like Craig Simpson did play in the NHL. He just has not played for many, many years at this point. Like Jim Houston's here, Mark Crawford too. Yeah, so I'll do that at a later time. But yeah, it's just weird that they would put that in the game. Like just really weird. And like have them be, you know, decent overalls even. Like I wouldn't have that. Doesn't make much sense to me that they're better than like a backup goalie than Steven Valcat or something like that. Chris Osgood, by the way, on free agency here. I feel like he played for somebody. I want to say like St. Louis this season. Well, there actually wasn't a season. That's one of the big things about this. So this season, actually, there was no NHL. There was a lockout. I'm not sure if the World Cup of Hockey actually took place during the lockout. I can recall watching it in real life when I was very little, but I'm not sure if it actually took place during the season, kind of like in place of the season or anything like that. But yeah, the World Cup of Hockey was a big feature of this game. There's a few things in here, I think. There was a training camp stuff. I believe this was the first, I could be wrong, maybe it was the third year. It might go all the way back to 2002 for all I know, honestly. They had stuff like the season preview in here, which is basically just like a lineup of the games, like FIFA, NBA, NASCAR, stuff like that EA was putting out at the time. Create team, I'm not sure if the create team, like we'll go into this. I'm not sure because I'll take a look because in 2004's, I know I took a look at it and it was literally just using like current team jerseys and stuff. Yeah, it still is the same, but there's stock ones now. So yeah, there's a difference. Actually, those are just like literally Vancouver jerseys, Quebec jerseys, LA jerseys. So there's not actually that. Yeah, you're still using just a regular. Wow, you could just use like retro logos, but they gave you more logos in this game. Anyways, yeah, it was a weird system for create a team back then. You really didn't have much to choose from. So again, I never really made teams in this. It just wasn't obviously that fun when you're just basically using NHL jerseys the whole time. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to run through all the jerseys in the league. Just show you guys all the jerseys that teams had. Because that will influence a little bit of the decision in this one. Because, oh my god, look at these logos. It'll influence a little bit because obviously I want to be playing with cool jerseys. One of the main reasons I did the Flyers in NHL 2004 was because they had their black jerseys, which are my favorite, pretty much very close to my favorite era of Flyers jerseys. Probably the RBK Edge in like 2008 was my overall favorite. But yeah, let's take a look at some of these jerseys here. Obviously, Anaheim had probably the best set of jerseys they could possibly have at this time. So they have, of course, their purple with the green, the old Mighty Duck logo. Their white ones, which I think are so much better than the purple ones. And then they had these jerseys, which were their first real, devolving into the new era of Anaheim. When the team got sold and they moved away from Disney, they started to shift away, I should say. Taking a look at Washington here, obviously their old style of jerseys, they only had these for a couple more years before they switched to what they currently have. Of course, Ovechkin coming into the league. That's another thing I'm going to bring up here. By the way, I'm going to put a timestamp, so if you guys want to click, I'll put it up right here above on the video, just so you guys know. If you guys want to just see the rosters or whatever, you're not interested in seeing the jerseys or anything, you can just click up above and skip to that port. But taking a look at the Caps jerseys, these are the ones where rookie Alexander Ovechkin, who, by the way, is drafted at this time. I believe technically so is Crosby. Oh, maybe not, actually. Maybe this would be 04-05. So Crosby actually isn't drafted until the end of this season. So Malkin and Ovechkin are both technically... I could create them. I could make them in the game if people want to have that for the mode. But I don't think I'm going to be using Pittsburgh or Washington. So it'd be cool maybe just to have them in the game and then see what happens from there. But they didn't obviously get put in the game because they didn't play an NHL game because there was no NHL season. But taking a look at Washington, I love these jerseys so much more than their current ones, honestly. I love the logo, the Capitol building, the two sticks. That logo as well, the eagle, is just phenomenal. They obviously had this... honestly, I don't think they wore this one much this season. Or the previous ones, really, before that. And then, of course, they have their kind of retro jerseys that we've seen both versions of in recent years. Moving on to Atlanta here. Atlanta, of course, honestly, one of the best jerseys ever. I think a lot of people don't like them. I love them. I love the Atlanta Thrashers jerseys. I always have. I think this is the first season that they've had this alternate as well, the baby blue alternate, which would eventually become their home jersey. I just love this jersey so much. Taking a look at the side, how it has the Atlanta dark crest on the one shoulder is just dope. 37, the patch on that jersey. I'm wondering if that's for Snyder. I wonder. Anyways, if you don't know, Danny Heedley got a teammate killed. Or in a car accident. So, I mean, he was charged. That's not really inflammatory. So, moving over to Vancouver. Probably, again, one of my favorite sets of jerseys for any team. They've got literally every jersey in here, and I feel like that's just because of VA Vancouver. Like, seriously, there's every iteration of a Vancouver jersey in this game. They have, obviously, they're in the dark blue, purple sort of time era here. Then the awesome maroon and blue combo with the gradient. The Canucks skate logo, of course, was huge. They actually don't... Oh, no, they do. They have the black skate one. But yeah, they have every iteration of that jersey there, so that's pretty cool. Moving over to Boston here. I really like these era of jerseys for Boston. I think a lot of people will definitely just hate the bear logo. I love that alternate so much. It's a great alternate jersey with the claw marks at the bottom and everything. It looks awesome. But yeah, these are mainly, it's because this just reminds me of Joe Thornton from so many years ago. So, and of course the Leafs, I want to say the Leafs actually went away when they came back from the lockout. I could be wrong here, but I think the Leafs went away from that kind of sort of comic font in 2004, more toward just a standard font. If you guys can remember, like early 2000s Toronto, they had like this, like, it almost looked like Comic Sans, like it looked like a comic book. But a pretty decent set of jerseys here. They've never really changed their jerseys all that much. This jersey here is probably my favorite of any Leafs jersey. I love the blue shoulder. I love the logo. I think they should have used this logo when they redesigned a few years back. I really would have liked them to use this logo instead of the current one. I'm not a fan of it. I also like the outline. Like, that's one big part of the logo for me. It looks good on both sets of jerseys too, but just the blue and white with just two-tone, I don't like it that much. two teams here that have just awesome jerseys. Of course, the Buffalo Sabres, the best era of Sabres jerseys here. Of course, the crosses, the Buffalo jerseys with the red, which they basically just made a reverse retro with the current colors, which I wasn't really a fan of. But this is the red alternate is good. They have of course, their old style jerseys as well in the game. One of the benefits of these older games is all the jerseys were actually kind of made similarly. So when you wear them in the game, they don't look too different, you know? When you look at, if you try to wear these jerseys on like NHL 21, they typically look weird. They look at a place, they look boxy because they're just not form-fitted. And on the other side, Tampa Bay, of course, coming off Stanley Cup champions. This is the Le Cavalier St. Louis era. Only 3 jerseys. They had their home, their away, and their alternate, which is technically a vintage jersey. But yeah, I like these ones. I really do like this era of Tampa jerseys because, again, this is another team that brought them back for the reverse retro, and I would have just preferred if they did it black. Like, really just bring this jersey itself back because it's just better than with the blue. I don't like the blue so much. And I like the inverse of the shoulders. Like on the home jersey here, I love the black at the top. Or sorry, the away jersey because they flipped them. But I like the white at the top on the home and then the black at the top on the away. Calgary here, personally my favorite era of Flames jerseys as well. Actually, one thing I missed, like I like the red jersey with the black C and the outline. It's right there. Okay, the alternate. They switched it to an alternate. I love that as their home jersey, like they had it kind of set up in 2003. With that as their alternate, and then that is their home jersey. Like, I love those era of jerseys. Honestly, you know what doesn't get enough love? These era of jerseys. Like that thing at the bottom, I love that on a Calgary jersey. St. Louis really didn't change anything up. These are basically their current jerseys that we see today. They obviously tried something in 2008 when the RBK Edge system came in. But otherwise, yeah, pretty much they have a bunch of their their retro type jerseys, but their jerseys at this time were very similar to what they have now. The Canes, not too dissimilar to what they have now. Obviously, as you guys can see behind me, it's a little bit different, of course. There's a whole lot less, there's no gray on the jersey anywhere. But that pattern at the bottom is very similar. Obviously, they didn't do black full-on for it, but a pretty decent era of jersey. They only have the home and the away at this point. But they're a team that went to the Cup Finals in 2002, so they gained a little bit of notoriety, but this is pretty much when they entered kind of a faux rebuild. They really loaded up when they came back from the lockout and they won the Cup. In this era of San Jose jerseys, I just love them so much. Alternate is great. The vintage jerseys are awesome. I love their home and away. I love all their sets of jerseys on this. I wish they had gone back like very hard toward this a few years back because they've done so many redesigns of their jersey since 2008 that it just hasn't hit that well. This old logo is much better than their current one as well. Chicago, of course, there's not going to be a whole lot of changes with these. The best jerseys in hockey, honestly. They're so good. They have honestly, I think they have like 6 jerseys here, and that's like low for Chicago in a video game. They usually have like 10. So, yeah, just the best. These jerseys they're always good. They're always the best jersey. And to Pittsburgh, probably my favorite era of and on to Pittsburgh, probably my favorite era of like Pens jerseys here. Like, I know people don't really like that like sandy gold type, but I really do like it. Of course, the triangle penguin is such a great logo. And then they have the kind of current ones. They're very old ones. Love that jersey too. The gradient's just awesome. But yeah, they've kind of encompassed every type of jersey that Pittsburgh's run in the last, pretty much the Crosby era. Colorado, of course, is just a classic. They've always had pretty dope jerseys. The home and the away, the alternate is awesome at this time. Just gives Sakic, Forsberg vibes. And then, of course, the Nordiques jersey set. Arizona's in, like, year 2 at this point, I believe, of having this style going away from the Kachina. Of course, they have the Kachina there. That weird-ass jersey right there. Oh, my God. That's like the reverse retro kind of right now. I think it's purple, though. Love the logo. Oh, my God, I just don't. What a mess of a hockey jersey that is. And, of course, they also have the Jets jerseys as their backups there. Columbus, not much to write home about here. This is the year they actually introduced the alternate logo, which is their current logo. in their alternate jersey. I really like the old jersey. I love the CBJ, the use of the stripes there and the stars. I love the use of the hockey stick in there and everything. So, again, Rick Nash vibes, just a lot of nostalgia with those jerseys. Philly didn't change anything up this season. Home away, they still have the 3D alternates. They have the Lindros era, the Bobby Clarke era. Pretty much the same set of jerseys I used in NHL 2004. Dallas, I think this is probably the last time Dallas had actual cool jerseys. I don't like their current ones. Never have. Just do not like the green. I don't like much of anything on that jersey right now. But these ones are pretty cool. They've got a pretty good set. The Seals jerseys in here. Man, that's awesome. The Cleveland Barons jerseys in here too. Oh no. Oh no, not the women's lady parts one. The uterus jerseys. Oh no. Well, it was in there. That's unfortunate. But yeah, this is probably, again, another team where my favorite era of jerseys is from when I was a little kid. I feel like that's typical for people when you get into a sport. You find jerseys that you just love based on the era you first saw them in. Ottawa, this is, again, I was a Sens fan for many, many years before becoming a Carolina fan. And honestly, like, this is one of the dopest sets of jerseys. I still own this jersey. I love this jersey so much. This black one with the gold trim at the bottom. It gets a lot of hate, but I love it so much. There's their current era of jersey right there. And then they're obviously the Silver Sevens era with the traditional throwback there. So a really good set for Ottawa. I'm not sure who to use in this right now. There's a short list of teams, probably 5 that I'm thinking of to seriously do for the franchise mode for the series on 2005. Ottawa definitely is on that list, but I think I want to wait at least another year. I really want to use them in 2006 because 2006 was the year they probably should have won the Cup. Hasek, if he doesn't tear his groin at the Olympics, I think the Sens win the Cup. Like, they were a crazy good team that season. Heatley on board for the first year. Man, they were so damn good. 2 original 6 teams here. You're not going to find much differentiation. Just a wonderful jersey set. Of course, always just a great jersey. Detroit, home, away. They also got a couple of these ones here. By the way, how they didn't just bring this jersey back for the reverse retro, why they keep putting this friggin' gray, silver, whatever it is, into the jersey for Detroit, I have no idea. It does not look good. And the Rangers, again, just another classic jersey. The Lady Liberty jerseys, the old Rangers from the 70s jerseys in there too. Just a really good jersey set for the Rangers as well. The Oilers, again, another era of jersey I just love. I love the oil drop jersey. People hate it. I love it so much. I love that logo. I love the color scheme. I like the blue with the silver and the white. It just looks great. Of course, they also have, their old jerseys. Vintage from 96 where they threw red in there for some random reason. I guess they have red in their jerseys. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. Never really noticed the red in this jersey before. But again, this just brings up memories of, Ales Hemsky, Fernando Pisani, Morrow, and Pronger in that cup run in 05-06 against Carolina. What a team that was. Dwayne Rolson leading the way with that team as well. The Islanders, again, this is the color scheme of the Islanders I like way more than their current one. I don't like the light blue. So you guys will see, here, I just don't like that blue on them at all. I prefer this one. I love this alternate so much. That orange alternate's awesome. They've also got the Fisherman jersey, which everybody hates, but is just such a cool jersey. Waves and everything. Just a complete mess of a hockey jersey, but it's awesome. It's awesome to wear. The Islanders are another team that's actually kind of on my short list. So there's Ottawa, the Islanders, Detroit's on there. Colorado does get there, but I don't really want to use Colorado because I used them in 2003. Florida, another team that just has a great style at this time, the red. You know what I never really noticed? If you take a look at the logo, I never realized that they actually put in a different logo for the red jerseys with the stick actually broken. But probably the best jersey set for Florida at this time. The Devils, again, a classic jersey. They've really changed it up in recent years, and I don't like it so much. I love this era of jersey. Again, this is a lot of nostalgia. Niedermeyer, Stevens, Giunta even. Man, there's so many players from this era of the Devils that won so many cups. LA, again, another team. I keep saying this, but like, this era of jerseys is probably the best. Like, legit, the best era of jerseys I've ever seen in hockey. Because I hit my elbow off my desk. The logos especially, the logos of this, especially LA here, like, this logo, that logo, the current logo that they have is just, I don't like it. This is easily their best set of jerseys right here. It's just a great set. The Gretzky era, the Marcel Dion era, like, there's so much in here. Another team where I preferred this look on them compared to what they have now. Nashville. Love the triangle logo in the background. This jersey, however, is just terrible. It's so good that I like it, but I know it's a horrible jersey. It's another one of those things where they just have a horrible jersey, but I love it. I love that alternate for Nashville. And finishing it up with the jerseys here, Minnesota, of course. This is the first year they actually introduced the alternate jersey, the red one with the circle. This would become their home jersey for many years. Again, I don't like this jersey. I love that jersey. I love that home jersey. I love the all green. I love the white. Again, it's probably just due to nostalgia. It's probably just due to guys like Wes Walls, Marian Gabric, Andrew Burnett, just guys I remember from my childhood. I just love this style of jersey. And they honestly have one of the best logos in sports too. So if they found a way to, come back with this style of jersey, I'd be super on board. Montreal, again, you're not going to get much difference. One of the best jerseys in hockey, especially their home jersey. Not so much their away. I don't like their away that much. But a pretty decent set at this time. I don't even look at all these old jerseys. It's just the white one from 37, like crazy, 24. Their home jersey, one of the best in sports. But yeah, just classic jersey there. All right, so we've taken a look at jerseys around the league. I know there's a few teams I'm looking at shortlisted. I don't even know, really. Like, 5 teams I'm willing to do. Probably the Islanders are in there, the Sens. Detroit is so stacked in this game, as you guys will see when I go in. I'm going to test it through a franchise mode so I can showcase the franchise mode here a little bit too. But I just wanted to point out like some of the teams I'm looking to do with this series. I might leave it up to a vote just so that I don't get too bogged down in it. But let's go ahead and take a look at the franchise mode next. Again, I'm going to do the rosters right at the end. I just want to preview the franchise mode itself before we get started. And yeah, let's take a look at the franchise mode now, and we'll get to rosters in a little bit. Oh my god, one thing I forgot about. Free-for-all. It was like what ones is now, it's what it was back then. Man, it's like big head mode, big hits and scoring and like a half rink or just a zone or whatever. What a cool little invention that would come back years later, but yeah, I forgot about that. So this is the first really big thing that, really changed what franchise mode was. Or I should say Dynasty mode, because this is what this is. Dynasty info, yeah. So like, you can cycle through all these different things. Teams have different levels of profit. Again, some teams are very low to the league. I mean, for some reason, the Leafs only making $11 million doesn't really make sense, because the Leafs make like half of the league's revenue. I wonder what a team like Montreal makes. Okay, the Coyotes making $5 million. Give me a break. Yeah, I don't know really what's going on with that, because there's obviously some teams that make a ton of money in this league that are really represented here. But anyways, let's run through a few things right now. First, you have owner interests, so what they're interested in doing. What are they looking to win the cup, which would be highlighted by ambition in purple. The team, I would assume the team just means like building a team, maybe patience level, and then prof is, of course, just making money. The other aspect here is, of course, you have on the right side of the screen here, you guys have, actually I'm going to move my head for this, so that you guys can see fully. Maybe I'll move myself over to the other side. No, we'll go over there. So anyways, you guys can see now, there's a style. Your team plays a gray style, which was an upgrade. There really wasn't anything like that. You know, in 2004, it was just, here's your team, and all the facilities got sold off, and we cut everything to the bone, and here you go, try to fix it. You, of course, have your overall, so your offense, your defense, your goaltending, and I think the Stanley Cup symbol is just a general overall. But this is the first year where you had owner expectations, as you guys can see there below the pie chart. So this was the first time where you'll see as I cycle through it, finish the regular season with the top power play percentage, advance to the second round, have a player finish the season with a plus-minus of +20. Different ones, like different teams, like Chicago, they want you to just tank, get the #1 overall pick. Colorado finished first in the conference. These were all really, they made the mode just so different. I know I must sound so rambly, but it was really a really different feel to a franchise mode, especially coming off 2004, where it was like you needed to be 5 years in before your team actually played well. So here's another little aspect. As you click through and you put in your name and everything here, you get the option to create a GM profile. Again, you have, driven personality types or characteristics, I should say. Proud, people person, responsible, shrewd, confident. So I think they give you like probably 5 or 6 different traits to go in with. And basically it just gives you a bonus. It gives you a bonus to, having better players, having better travel, all these types of things. Or just being able to have, team functions and travel, marketing, so being able to make more money if you're more profit-based, accounting and legal, all that kind of stuff. It just makes it so different. This is what we're missing in current franchise modes. We need ways to make the game different. I can't even tell you how many GM modes I've started on NHL 21. Like, it's probably in the 30 to 40 range, and the game only came out like 4 or 5 months ago. It's not different enough. I can start a GM in NHL 21, and it just feels like I'm playing the same thing over and over and over again. There's no differentiation. This is where it makes it different. Because I could play this mode and just say, like, my owners want me to make the most profit possible, So what I could do is just run a shrewd characteristic style, get in there and just try to make as much money as I can. I don't even really need to focus on the NHL aspect of it. I can just go and try to make the team the most money. And alternatively, using my coach style as a way to supplement the team is also pretty big, right? So using this as like a team that wants to win the cup, having it so that I get a bonus to my head coach and my goalie coach, it's just going to make my team better. So as we load into the first screen here, we're going to go over just a little bit more, guys, before we cut here and we start going and looking at rosters. Obviously, the biggest one, first off, tonight's game matchup is awesome. Let's see. I wonder if there's... Actually, I think this is why this system came in. I love this. I just like the little icons. Just being able to see different things. It's just awesome. Like, they did so well with these old ones. Of course, it looks like you're on some, like, Palm Pilot, very retro device, like that. Man, that's so old. Like, that's the oldest thing I can think of. A Palm Pilot. Gives you the exact day. You're in year 1. I love it. Dynasty Central. The biggest part, the email system. You guys hear that sound? I love that sound. So first off, you're getting emails now. Colin Richards. Great pleasure that I welcome you to the Dallas Stars. My ultimate goal is to bring a championship to this franchise, and with you at the helm, that dream could soon become a reality. But in order to achieve that kind of success, this club must take small steps on the way to the top. Have a player win the Maurice Richard Trophy, top goal scorer. I'm excited about the future of this organization, and I'm glad you're a part of it. So, of course, as you go along in the season, you'll get more emails. You're going to get probably trade requests. You're going to get many different things. I think that's actually how they did it back then too, which is great. So you're going to get different stuff from the league, the owner, the staff of your team, the coaches, your accounting department, and you're going to get one from players as well, which is so key. Players are going to let you know they want more ice time. Players are going to demand trades, stuff like that, which is just a phenomenal way to do this. I wish I could just bring this back. EA, just bring this back. There's so many good things about this franchise mode. I'm 20 minutes into talking about it, and this is already making me want to play this more than NHL 21. So one thing I noticed coming off of NHL 2004 to this one main thing, practices are gone. So in NHL 2004, you could set practices and it would help actually lower your endurance or up your endurance, attributes, morale, all that kind of stuff. they've replaced it with nothing, which is good. I don't want to keep track of practices. My coaching staff should do that anyways. One thing I really like here, it shows Colorado. It shows that it's a rivalry. That's awesome. Rivalry games are huge. One thing you're going to get is you're going to get an overall of every team. As you go through, you're going to see their standings placement too, which is awesome. It seems like there's a playable all-star game in this one too, which is huge. I love that. I like the idea of being able to play an all-star game for a YouTube series. Again, it's not something I want to play every year, simming through tons and tons of years, but for sure it's just something that interests me to be able to play. Right, there's a big one. In 2004, I don't believe that it would actually show you the date that the trade deadline was on. It would literally just be like, today's the trade deadline. Do you want to make any trades? Also, in 2004, it was like March 29th. It was so late in the season. It was like a week before the playoffs started. So it looks like it's correctly set here at like March 9th. I think the contract screen is pretty much the same. Shane Corson here. I believe the 0 actually indicates that they're just expiring at the end of the season. Brendan Morrow, for instance, here you can go in and negotiate or release the player to free agency or something like that. So basically, there's not like a whole lot of back and forth, but what I do like is it's instantaneous. Your extensions are done the day of. Of course, the player info screen is just, you get everything here. What I like this, just, oh my god, by the way, look at Zubov. Zubov agility 99, acceleration 99, speed 94. He was ridiculous. Look at his slap shot stats, 97, 95, but his wrist shot accuracy sucks. I love how they just went wacky. Like, they just went completely wacky with this sometimes. He's a 3-star defenseman. He's got a couple of those like traits that we still see from all the way from back 2002. I like that. It gives you his age, his overall, everything like that. His season stats, you can scroll through his entire season. You're not going to know his team, but you're going to know how many points he had and all that stuff. It gives you a perfect, here's his draft year, here's his draft choice. He was selected 85th overall. Here's his career games, and like, man, those are ridiculous numbers for a defenseman. And of course, playoff stats just operate the same way. Of course, scouting was a bigger thing in this one. You could scout players here, and I don't know if you could actually end up finding out where they are, like where they're ranked or anything. It doesn't actually look like that. It looks like you just sort by, I don't know. I have no idea. I really don't know how this system works. I'm not going to end up using it that much because it's just a one-year thing. Again, finances, I think probably work the same, maybe a little bit more in depth. Yeah. But one big thing right now, like, look at the bottom. You have fan loyalty here. You can see whether or not your fans are happy about what's going on with your team, how you're selling concessions. Again, a lot of stuff where, man, like, when they redid this, they just didn't do it properly, and that's what sucks. So you get a total revenue, you get a total profit, you get to look at these kind of things and play around with them as much as you'd like. The upgrade system, of course, the only thing that kind of sucks is, you know, they took away that GM office that I love so much. It's probably one of my favorite things from NHL 2004. But you're able to just, you know, upgrade you have an upgrade budget. You're able to do upgrades to, you know, it gives you a breakdown of what you're upgrading, what it does, what its effect is going to be for your team. Here's another thing I'm going to have to go in and change. Zachary Priest. I'm assuming this is a Make-A-Wish Foundation thing, which is awesome. I'm glad EA has always done this kind of stuff. I think he's probably just, like, too good. His potential is 85, so I'll remove him, make sure he doesn't get signed to a team. But yeah, free agency works similar to how contracts work. You just go in and here you go. I'm assuming the legal staff quality is your ability to, you know, save money on a deal. One thing I do notice, though, is the maximum years you can offer is just 3 in this game for some reason. I wonder if that's different. Maybe that's just a free agent thing. Like, I'm going to go back to the contract screen here and see if I can offer a guy more than 3. See, like, Corson. Yeah, you can only offer 3, which is strange because, like, NHL 2004, you could offer guys like 15-year deals or something, or 10-year deals or whatever it was. You could really just offer a ton of length on all these deals. So This might be the reason why we went to a lockout this season. So one thing here is there's actually a practice schedule. It just seems like it's done better. So you can choose, you can do, looks like you can do about 6 different types of practice types. So you can do a daily practice. You can set, like here, it gives you +8 breakouts, +2 morale, +2 to goalies, breakaways and on-man rushes, fun practice that builds morale. If you want to change it up, you can do +4 to comebacks. I'm assuming maybe some overall boost when you're down late in the game. Full contact is going to be a lot of, tightening up your team, making them a little bit tougher to play against. But what's cool here, and the overarching aspect of this, is if you find that there's a weakness on your team, isn't this a fantastic way to shore that up? Say I have a terrible penalty kill. I can put them on a bag skate schedule and see if I can just up the penalty kill, make them a little bit better. So again, another thing where they took it from 2004, they tweaked it, and they made it better. Strategy works very much the same as it did in all the previous games. Edit lines is very similar anyways. You just best lines it and all that kind of stuff. I'll go through the trade screen just to show you guys what the stuff is. Team standings, of course, pretty much the same here. You're going to get win percentage, you're going to get goals for, power play, shorthanded, last 10, shorthanded goals for, and all that kind of stuff. I don't think they changed much in the sliders category as well. I think you can do this. And you can change the game speed, the puck control, and stuff like that. I'll manually be setting some of this stuff myself just to make it a little bit easier. Because right now, if you see this stuff, this all has to be down here, because, and especially aggression, it needs to be way down because there'll be 150 hits a game. So if you don't set it like that, it's very weird. And for what I'm doing, I just want to watch AIs play. I don't want to play the games myself. So it's better for me if I tweak around with the settings and find a nice little balance. And as you guys could see on that last screen there was a little bit of tweaking. They obviously put a little bit more slider adjustments into the game. There wasn't many in 2004. There was barely any in 2003. So it's a little bit better that way. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. I've gone through the finances, went through the upgrades, the free agents, scouting report, contracts, everything like that. We're going to go into trade players. I don't think there was much of a change from 2004 to this one. Three things you could trade. Again, this is the same picks 1 through 5 of the draft. I don't believe that there's any you can just swap picks like that. So there's no interest meters or anything like that. So taking a look at I'll preview Dallas here first, and then we'll go through. Medano, Guerin, Zubov, Morrow, Arnott, Valerie Bure, Lettinen, Turgeon, Boucher, Newman, and one of the better teams around the league here. Take a look at the goaltenders here. Turco, a big one, Tugnut, and Dan Ellis, who probably is a rookie right now. He's 24. I don't think he's probably played at all. Oh, he played a game the season prior. But yeah, Dan Ellis is long retired now. Turco only 29 here. Turco's deep 40s now. Again, I'm just dating myself because these are the goalies I grew up with and all that kind of stuff. This is one thing I did not like. So I'm going to just try and do this so I can show you guys one thing. But if you just do, I'll show you guys right here. Remove this. Try to just trade this. The trade's been rejected, but the one thing that sucks is that it pulls it off the screen. So you can't just negotiate a deal essentially like you can in the current games. I'm gonna try to just do this and then see if I can get Atlanta's first. Okay, I tried to get it back up because there's a little newspaper that comes up on the screen showing that we just acquired a pick. But I tried to trade a first, second, and third for Tampa Bay, who just won the Cups first, and it doesn't work. So I don't know why that is. But what I wanted to do is actually go out to the edit line screen in the main menu because it's a little bit better. It's a little easier to navigate. I didn't realize you had just that cutoff of players to look at through the trade screen in here. So what we're going to go do is go out to the main menu and we'll go through the edit lines system and show you guys the rosters that way. All right, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, guys. This is awesome. I'm glad if you've liked it, give it a like down below, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna get going with the roster stuff, so I can show you guys what each team, and then I'll probably put a vote on that Facebook group so that people can vote on what they like. So there's not a whole lot of teams that I've really shortlisted. I think there's about 5. I'll probably put them in the poll, just there'll be 5 teams and people can vote on it. But anyways, taking a look at Anaheim, I've just kind of best lines it so that you guys can see like chemistry systems and all that stuff. But Prospel, Fedorov, Sikora, Cheestov, Ruchin. By the way, Stanislav Cheestov, one of my favorite players of all time. I love Cheestov. Steve Ruchin, Joffrey Lupul. There's a name. Probably a rookie at this point. 21 years old, most likely. Never played. Oh, no, he played no 304, so he was a rookie that season. Leclerc, Andy McDonald, Rob Niedermeyer, Sammy Paulson, Jason Krogh, and Martinson. Going to the defense, Ozelich and Soleil, Vishnevsky, Keith Carney, Martin Skula, and is that Curtis Foster? Ooh, that is Curtis Foster. 23 years young Curtis Foster, too. And then goaltenders, Jaguar and Brizgalov. So Jaguar, 2 years removed now from his Conn Smythe win. Obviously, Anaheim, I don't believe, made the playoffs the following season. On to Atlanta. Look at this top line. Kovalchuk, Savard, Heatley, and 2 legitimate scoring threats with... I cannot believe Mark Savard is not considered a playmaker in this game. I mean, let's be real here. Oh, my God. His passing, where's his passing? 89. His shot is, his shot's fine, but like that passing should be like 90 something. Savard was dope, so good at this time. But like, look at his stats. Like no season where he's scoring more than he's passing, and they gave him a scoring thing. So if he was a playmaker, he probably would have had better, chemistry on that top line with those guys. Second line, McEachran, Randy Robitaille, Petrovicki, Victor Kozlov, who really wreaked havoc against me in NHL 2000, or that's Vyacheslav Kozlov, never mind. But the Kozlov, probably, are they brothers? I don't even know. Patrick Stefan here, Vijay, Larson, Oban, and Corso. On defense, of course, this is where it kind of falls off for Atlanta. Frantisek, Cabrele, Nick Havilland, Andy Sutton, Jarnquist, Tremblay, and Majewski. And then in goaltender, Pasi Nurminen and Yanni Herme. With Kari Lehtinen, a young upstart Kari, 21-year-old Lehtinen, man. Potential 95. He was drafted 2nd overall in 2002. God damn. On to Boston. This is one of the teams where, again, these games, you guys will probably see it in the simulations when I start the game up, of course. But, man... You're probably going to see Glenn Murray and Joe Thornton put up like 185 points or like 200 something. I don't know why, but the simulation aspect of the game, for some reason, Thornton and Murray always put up ridiculous numbers. Glenn Murray, Joe Thornton, Mike Knuble on the top line, Samsonov, Bergeron, Martin Lapointe. Bergeron, of course, look at this guy. No picture in the game. 94 potential. Rookie year passed him already. 45th overall, damn. Like, that was a low draft pick. But he, of course, is just a rookie at this point, but a very, very good player. Still playing for the Bruins, I believe captain now. So third line, Brian Ralston, Michael Nylander. This is actually a really good third line. And Per-Johan Axelsson, Rob Zaminer, Brad Boyes, who must be just young as it all get out. 22 years old here. Travis Green as well here. And on defense, Sergei Gonchar, Nick Boyden, Yuri Sliger, Andy Delmore, Hal Gill, and McGillis. And then in net, Andrew Raycroft at 93 before he would be traded to the Leafs and ruin his career. Also, Tim Thomas is here. Look at Timmy Thomas. 75 overall, 30 years old already here. What? He's already 30? I know, he won the cup really old. He was like 36 or 37 when he won the cup. But, damn, dude. You're old. Timmy Thomas, you're old. So I'm going to throw Boston onto this list. They're going to end up in the short list of teams that'll be on there. So Boston, the Islanders, Detroit right now are the 3 teams I know of that I'm willing to do for this. But yeah, Boston, Man, like the chemistry alone, dude. The chemistry. It's so damn good. On to Buffalo here. Let's do the best lines. Heck, Jochen Hecht, Chris Drury, Maxima Finneganov, a +5. Briere, Dumont, and Chatan on the second line. Third line of Taylor Pyatt, Derek Roy, Mike Greer, Alex Kotelik, Tim Connolly, and Kristek. Yaroslav Kristek. On the defense, Alexei Zhitnik, Dmitry Kalinin, Jilson, Brian Campbell, who's probably very young here, Henrik Tallinder, and Patrick. And in defense, Marty Biron, Mika Norinen, and a very young Ryan Miller, 24 years young. On to the Calgary Flames, the runner-up for the Stanley Cup in 2004. Jerome McGinley, Craig Conroy, Sean Donovan, Dean McCammon, Stefan Yell, Chris Clark, Jelena Lombardi, Saprikin, Nielsen, Reinprecht, and Chris Simon, I believe. Ooh, Chris Simon. Regier, Leopold, Lidman, Ferentz, Gauthier, and Buzek. And then in goal, 95 overall, Mika Kiprasov. Who was better in this era than Mika frickin' Kiprasov, right? Dude was hacking darts and just stopping pucks. Guy was so damn good. Danny Sabrin is a backup there, too. I haven't really been checking about any of the scratches players, like Commodores here. Should really be doing that. Chuck Kobasu, even in this list of players. Steve Mondor, rest in peace. The Canes, who were primed out of the lockout to win the Stanley Cup. Eric Cole, Rod Brendamore, Jeff O'Neill, Defoe. I don't even know who the hell that is. Defoe. Brad Defoe. Jesus. First round pick. Oof. Eric Stahl, of course, very young here. Look at that guy. He might even come back. We might get him back. Same hair, basically, too. He just looks so much older now. Justin Williams there, of course. Beta, Vasicek, Verbata, Kevin Adams, Murray, Pavel Brendel. And on defense, Sean Hill, Brett Hedekin, who I share a birthday with. Bruno St. Jacques, Nicholas Wallin, Glenn Wesley, and Fast. Kevin Weeks, Marty Gerber, Jamie Storr as the goalies as well. On to the Blackhawks, who were just terrible at this time. They're not far away from getting Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves and turning that whole damn thing around. Eric Daze, Tyler Arneson, Theo Fleury, Bell, Rutu, Radulov. I don't even know who that guy is. It's not Alexander, I know that much. Kyle Calder, McLean, Vorobiev, Nicholas Nickel, and Yakubov. Berard, Vandermeer, Popes, Stefan Robida. Hey, woo. Oh, this is neat. Oh, so it shows you how to actually make your... Ah. Well, there you go. I didn't even know that was a thing. Yeah, the right combination of play styles, skill level, and playing in their natural positions will create the best line chemistry. So, damn. So you actually want to match up good players with other good players, not have bad ones. Interesting. I like how there's an actual breakdown. And then McCarthy and Quint on the defense. Take a look at their goaltending. Jocelyn Tebow, Michael Layton, and look at this guy. Oh, that's Steve Popes. What the heck? There. Doesn't even have a picture. Craigie Anderson. Colorado here, one of the most stacked teams, man. Tonge, Sakic, Hayduk, a +5. Sakic playing at a 99. Tonge a 96. And Hayduk at 99. A +5 on the second line. Korea 94. Forsberg 99. Solani 90. Like this team is shortlisted, guys. Oh my god, you can pick this team. I will not be upset. I don't really want to double up on teams, but I will not be upset. This team is ridiculous. Matthew Barnaby, Nikolish, Mark Svatos, rest in peace. God, he was such a potential. Look at his potential. It's 97. Oh my god, what a great player, man. So we lost him way too soon. Steve Konowalchuk, Chris Gradden, Darby Hendrickson, Rod Blake, Adam Foote, John Michael Wiles as a rookie, Carlos Scratchins, Voninen, and Bob Bugner. And then in net, David Aboucher, Tommy Salo. Man, what a team. Yeah, guys, if you pick the Colorado Avalanche, I will not be mad. I'm pretty damn happy because how the hell am I going to lose with that team? Columbus, Rick Nash, of course, not in 2004, but he's in 2005. Todd Marchant, David Vaborny, Jeff Sanderson, of course, if you guys watched the 2004 series, Jeff Sanderson won the Hart Trophy, the the Lester Pearson Ted Lindsay Trophy. He technically won the Maurice Richard as well, and he won the Art Ross. So he was the best player in hockey. Andrew Castles, Tyler Wright, I believe that is. Nikolai Zherdev is a rookie here. Trevor Letowski, another speedy player. This is actually a pretty dope third line. Third line. Holzinger, Manny Malhotra, Dan Friche. Obviously, their defense is where it drops off quite a bit. Klesla, Westcott, Spacek, Lachance, Eriksson, and Walser. And then in goal, they have Mark Denis, Artur Zerbe with a very young, before he gets traded to Ottawa, Pascal Leclerc. Dallas we already previewed a little bit of, but Morrow, Modano, Guerin, of course, and Arnett Lettinen. Again, this team is not very strong offensively, I think. More defensively. Valerie Bure, Turgeon Young, DeMaio, Barnes, Oliver, Zubov, Newmanen, Boucher, Sweeney, Clem, and Sakaris. Marty Turco, and now with Tugnut and Dan Ellis. And this is where it gets crazy. So there's two teams so far. Colorado and Detroit. So I did Colorado in 2003. Detroit is like a team that's ridiculous too. So Shanahan, Datsuk, Hull, +5 each. Zetterberg, Yzerman, McCarty, Whitney, Lang, Thomas, and Maltby, Draper, Holmstrom. Like, that is a ridiculous team. Then you go to the defense. Schneider, Lidstrom, Dandino, Chelios, Hatcher, Woolley. What a ridiculous team. And then in net, Joseph, Legacy. Of course, no Hasek for them this season. On to the Oilers. Smith, York, Dvorak. Again, a great lineup here. Torres, Nedved, Hemsky, Morrow, Horkoff, Pisani, Selmalainen, Riesener, Stoll. Man, what a team. Smith, Brewer, Bergeron, Steos, Ulanov, Corey Cross, and Markkanen and Conklin in net. The Florida Panthers, Huselius, Jokinen, Kolnick, Hagman, Weiss, Audette, Horton, Cullen, Berglund, Samuelson, Ritchie, and Nederost. Again, our friend Nederost from the Colorado series in 2003. On defense, Jay Bomeister, Mike Van Ryn, Andreas Lilia, Trinka, Krychek, and Matthew Biron. And then, of course, in net, probably the best goalie in the game, I think, Roberto Luongo. The LA Kings, Adam Deadmarsh, Jason Allison, Ziggy Palffy, Frolov, Stumple, Camilleri. Camilleri, Frolov were just two prospects at this time. They were phenomenal. Luke Robitaille, toward the end of his career, Martin Straka, Trent Klatt, Anson Carter, Derek Armstrong, Eric Belanger. On defense, Vishnowski, Nordstrom, Modry, Corvo, Miller, and Dempsey. A pretty decent team here. Czechmanek and Garon. Not great goaltending there, but pretty damn good. On to Minnesota, Laxinen, Bouchard, Gabric. Of course, Gabric, very young here. Take a look at him. Potential 91. Just a sniper with speed. His speed is just ridiculous in this game. So damn good. So good for so many years, Marian Gabric was, man. I forgot Gabric played he's already played 4 seasons at this point. Damn. Second line, Pascal Dupuis, Wes Walls, Bill McCult, Weimer, Brunette, Richard Park, Brandner, Alexander Dyke, Brent Burns. Brent Burns, everybody. Look at this guy. 19 years young, fresh as a daisy. No beard, no picture. Still playing forward. Zuzin, Kuba, Schultz, Billy Mitchell, Sibinek, McCulloch, and Roche. And then in goal, Rolison, Fernandez. What a tandem here. Josh Harding is their backup. To the Habs, Kovalev, Koivu, Zednik, Bulish, Ribeiro, Ryder, Sundstrom, Bonk, Dackel, Dagenet, Yannick Perreault, Jim Dowd. Man, Sheldon Surrey at his peak. Just clapping slap shots from the point. Patrice Brisebois, Craig Rivet, Andre Markov, who would, play here for another 15 years before he'd leave. Francis Bouillon and Ron Hainsey. Jesus Christ, Ron Hainsey still playing? Ron Hainsey was 23, guys. Ron Hainsey was 23 years old at this time. And he'd already played 2 seasons. Jesus. And in net, of course, Theodore Huey. Theodore, really? Damn, I totally forgot about this. Theodore, I thought he got traded in 04, but it must have been... It was 05, 06 when they did the Theodore for Abishai swap? Damn. All right, well, hey, there's something to do if we do a Colorado... If we use Colorado again, there's an opportunity there to get Jose Theodore in town. On to the Nashville Predators. Scott Hartnell, very young at this time. Johnson, rather. Steve Sullivan, Martin Erat, very young. David Legwand, young here. Scott Walker was just a wrecking machine. Man, I love Scott Walker in these games. His like speed is not as much as I thought it would be. I very highly remember him just being speedster. Maybe that's just 2003. Johansson, Zoltak, Orsov. Man, I like Vladimir Orsov. Man, I remember this guy. 80 overall. His potential's not even that high, but man, he could be a freaking dynamo as a pickup on a trade in this game. Murray, Tutu, and Adam Hall. Tutu was very, very young at this point. He was just getting like some name recognition at the time too. Zidlichki, Timonen, Hamhuis, Eden. Again, this isn't even like... I would be curious. Is there... We have Vern Fiddler here, damn. Scotty Upshall as a scratch. There's no Shea Weber here. I wonder if Weber was drafted yet. I want to say Weber was drafted in 2003, but I could be wrong. And in goal, Chris Mason as a extra. Lassick and, of course, Thomas Vokoun. The Devils, Elias Gomez, Giunta, Friesen, Madden, Langenbrunner. Just these household names in Jersey. Breland, Herdina. Is this Victor Kozlov? Got Victor Kozlov, man. 6'5". Guy was a wrecking machine in 2004. Like, crazy good. Jay Pandolfo, Grant Marshall, Trent Stevenson, Scott Niedermayer, Scott Stevens, Rafalski, Colin White, Paul Martin, very young at this time, and Trent Albeline. And then, of course, Broder and Ahonen with Corey Schwab as the backup in net. Here's a team that does make my short list. Again, they're lower down, that's for sure. But Oleg Kvasha, Mike Pekka, Jason Blake, Cliff Ronning, Alexei Yashin. There's a blast from the past, Alexei Yashin. Trent Hunter, Matthias Weinhandel, Sean Bates, Mark Parrish, Mariusz Cherkowski, Dave Scatchard, I think. Kenny Johnson, I think. Adrian O'Coin, Herman Hammerlick. They actually have a decent defensive core here. The Islanders are in, though. They're one of the teams shortlisted. Rick DiPietro. Wouldn't it be nice to change his career trajectory around? God damn. Guy's still getting paid today and he hasn't played hockey in like 15 years. The Rangers, Jan Hlavich, Eric Lindros, Jaromir Jagr. He comes over from Washington to the Rangers. Bobby Holik, Mark Messier returns. Pavel Bure, Dan Lacouture, Blair Betts, Jamie Lundmark, Green. Is that Chad LaRose? Corey LaRose. I do not remember Corey LaRose. And Jet Ortmeyer, Tom Poti, Darius Kasparaitis, Mironov, Rakunik, Fedor Tudin, and Pock. Thomas Pock. Look at that guy. He's from like Latvia or something. Austria, maybe. Dan Blackburn, Mike Dunham, Jason LaBarba. There will be one change, by the way, that I'm going to make. If there was technically a season, this is why the Ovechkin and Malkin stuff kind of comes into play. Why I might create those guys is because this is technically the first season, if there was a season, that Lundqvist would have came over. So I'm going to move Lundqvist over to the Rangers, and he is actually like an 82, so he's the best goalie for them. On to the Senators, Peter Bondra, Jason Spezza, Daniel Alfredson, a second line of Hossa, Todd White, and Martin Havlat. Schaefer, Smolinski, Langfeld, Verada, Fisher, Sean Van Allen, Zdeno Chara, Wade Redden, of course, Greg DeVries, Anton Volchenkov, who would have been real young here, Chris Phillips and Brian Pache, Dominic Hasek, of course, the goaltender for the Ottawa Senators this year, and then Ray Emery, rest in peace, as the backup, as the scratch, Martin Prusek as the backup. The Flyers, who of course not shortlisted for this one. Also, I want to say Ottawa's not, but they might be. Just because I want to use Ottawa in NHL 06. So I definitely want to use them that year because they should have won. But the Flyers, Gagne, Roenick, Recchi, Leclerc, Jamnov, Amante, Primo, even on the fourth line here with Lapointe and Samik, Kapanen, Hanzus, Radivojevic, Kim Janssen, Malikov, Pitkinen, Danny Markov. Damn, this is better defense than I had in 2004 with them. Desjardins, Ragnarsson. A lot of these guys familiar faces. A lot of them I traded. Robert Esch, Sean Burke, rather not Brian Burke, and Niedemaki is the backup there. Phoenix Coyotes at this time, not Arizona yet, but Ladislav Nagy, Mike Comrie, Shane Doan, Jason Chimera, Damon Lankow, Mike Johnson, Tyson Nash, Kalanos, Sjostrom, Dan Cleary, Jeff Taff, and Novosaltsev. On defense, Paul Mara, Cale Hulse, Suchi, Morris, Tanabe, and Koivisto. And then in goal, again, very bad goaltending here, Brian Boucher, Brent Johnson. So the Pittsburgh Penguins, Ryan Malone, Lemieux, Morozov, Sorovi, Fada, Koltsov, Wilson, Eastwood, Kostopoulos, Hussey, Kraft, Perrieta, Richard Jackman, Dick Tarnstrom, Brooks Orpik, Michael Roosevelt, Sturback, Boylo, Marc-Andre Fleury, though, a rookie here. Just coming into his own. I think he played the season before. Only 4 wins in 21 games. Jesus, he got lit up. The first overall pick in 2003. This is a team, though, just looking at the Penguins, like they get a little bit more interesting if you put Malkin in there, I think. So if I create Malkin and put him in, I think that'd be a lot of fun to start. That'd be a really cool little team. Again, they're so bad, I don't think I would play as them. I think it'd be such an uphill battle. It just would not work. So the San Jose Sharks, Sturm, Marlowe, Korolyuk, Ekman, McCauley, Chichu. Of course, Chichu very shortly going to score that 50 goal season, 59 or something. I don't remember. Whatever it did, it got him traded to Ottawa, and it was terrible. Vincent Domfus, Sean Thornton, Nico Dimitrakos, Marcel Gotch, Mike Ricci, Wayne Primo. On defense, McLaren, Hannon, Stewart, Grathgy, Pricing, and Jim Fahey. And then, of course, in goal, Nabokov, Toskala before he would be traded to the Leafs and let in a terrible goal against the Islanders and never be heard from again. St. Louis Blues, again, they didn't change all that much on this team this season. Kachuk, Dimitra, Drake, Savage, Wade, Boganecki. I want to say this team didn't make playoffs. Sanya, Kionic, Rycroft, Mellenby, Sillinger, and Mike Danton. Mike Danton. Pretty sure this guy got I'm pretty sure he got arrested for trying to put a hit out on his agent or something. I'm gonna look this up. So reading off Wikipedia here, Mike Danton played for the New Jersey Devils and St. Louis Blues in the NHL between 2000 and 2004. Before being imprisoned for a conspiracy to commit murder. He was released on parole on September 11th, 2009 after 63 months in jail, the original sentence being 90 months. After being released from prison, he resumed his professional ice hockey career in various European leagues and in North America. Arrest and imprisonment. Sorry, Mike Danton, you're getting a lot of coverage on this video, buddy. 2 days after the Blues were eliminated, Danton was arrested and charged with a conspiracy to commit murder. On July 16th, he pleaded guilty to attempting to hire a hitman, who was actually a police dispatcher, to murder David Frost, his agent, and was sentenced to U.S. District Judge William Steele to 7.5 years in a United States federal prison. To this day, though, however, Frost denies that he was the target. In 2011, Danton claimed in an interview with ESPN that his original target was his estranged father, Steve Jefferson. Okay, he hired somebody to kill somebody. Anyways, he's on the St. Louis Blues. On defense for St. Louis, Pronger, Jackman, Havanov, McInnes, Salvador, and Weinrich. A pretty decent team there. Patrick Lalime, their goalie, though. First year for Patrick Lalime, would assume maybe not in... no, I think he played for Chicago before that. No, maybe he played for Chicago at the end. I don't know. I think that's the first year he didn't play for Ottawa. Tampa Bay, of course, the reigning Stanley Cup champions. St. Louis Richards LeCavalier, of course. Corey Stillman, Tim Taylor, Shane Willis. Is that Shane Willis? Hey, Shane Willis, look at that. Fox Sports is Shane Willis. I didn't know he played. I knew he played in the league. I didn't know who he played for. So, sorry, Shane. I don't know. Freddie Modine, Eric Perrin, Ruslan Fedosenkov, Dave Anderchuk, the captain, Martin Seaback, Kubina Sidor, Dan Boyle, Corey Sarch, Lukowicz, and Cullimore. And, of course, in net, Nikolai Habibulin, John Graham. The Toronto Maple Leafs, Gary Roberts, Matt Sundin, Owen Nolan, Alex McGillney, Joe Newendike, Michael Renberg, Darcy Tucker, Ron Francis. I forgot Francis played for them for like 40 minutes. Matt Stajan, Alex Ponikarovsky. Hey, I met Alex Ponikarovsky once. Robert Reichel and Nick Andropov. Brian McCabe and Brian Leach. I forgot Leach played for them for like 5 seconds. Coberley, Klee. Actually, I wonder, did Leach definitely played for them for like literally like 10 games, and then the lockout happened and he never returned. He went to Boston, or he went somewhere, I don't remember. Drake Barahowski, and I do not know who Johansson is. Callie Johansson, 37 years old? Sure. Drafted in 95, played 1,100, holy crap. Played a lot of games. And goalies, of course, Trevor Kidd, Michael Telfquist, Ed Belfour, Eddie the Eagle, I can remember. I can definitely remember seeing all three of these goalies in games for the Leafs that season, so... The Vancouver Canucks, Marcus Naslund, Brendan Morrison, Todd Bertuzzi, of course, that top line. The Sedin twins, Henrik Daniel with Trevor Linden. Matt Cook before he became terrible. Lindgren, Mike Keane, Rushinsky, Chubarov, and Arvidsson. On defense, look at their defense, man. This is a stacked defensive group here. Jovanovski, Brent Sopel, Matthias Oland, Sammy Salo, Marek Malik, and Brian Allen here. In goal, Kluche, Hedberg with Alex Ald as their alternate. Washington, our final team of this, I believe. Yeah, I think that's the last team. Alexander Semin, Jeff Halpern, Dana Subris, Kip Miller, Trent Whitfield, Boyd Gordon, Chiernick, Brian Sotheby, Brian Wilsey, Bates Battaglia, Taverden, Johnson. On their defense, Brendan Witt, Beaumedien, Kwiatkowski, Steve Eminger, Jason Doig, Shane Morrison, I think. And in goal, Kolzig with Ouellette and whoever the hell Stana is as the alternate there. Again, so this will be, if I do it, I'd have to look at the 2004 draft class. I'm going to take a look at that. If any of those players played that first season, I might make them. Might make a handful of players just to put in to make it look a little bit cooler. But I'm not sure how many players actually played that first season. We have Ovechkin, Malkin, Cam Barker, Andrew Ladd. Man, Ovechkin's almost got 1,300 career points, man. That guy's ridiculous. I think just looking at this, though, I would say most likely I am just going to end up making Malkin and Ovechkin to play, because I don't think Cam Barker played. And also, Cam Barker was never that good. So, I don't think I really want to make Cam Barker. But I think Malkin and Ovechkin, I will definitely put them in, because if the season was played, I would hazard a guess they actually would have been on their teams, because Pittsburgh was bad. Washington was also bad. Anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for the... This was a really long one. What am I at? A minute or an hour 30. So, yeah, this is like 90 minutes of talking. So this is going to be a very long... If you made it through the whole thing, goddamn. Proud of you. Because I nearly didn't. But anyways, guys, that does it for the Dynasty Mode preview. That does it for the roster previews and the jersey previews. I will put a short list up, probably on the NHL Franchise Mode group on Facebook, where it can be voted on. I'll do a little short list of 5 teams I think I will play as in this game. So thank you if you watched the whole thing. Again, so much. Thank you guys so much. If you just skipped to the rosters portion, I think that would be long enough for you anyways. It's cool to go over the rosters. Again, there'll be a few additions. There's going to be Malkin, Ovechkin, most likely added to Pittsburgh and Washington. And as well, Henrik Lundqvist will come over from Frölunda in the Swedish Hockey League to come over and play his first season for the New York Rangers. If you would like to, if you're on Facebook and you would like to join the NHL Franchise Mode group, we just post literally only Franchise Mode stuff. If you're not already in it, or that we have like 5,000 members now, so it used to be like literally 70 of us. But yeah, I'll link it in the description below of the video. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it. Again, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button down below, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you guys can get uploads as soon as they come out. And as always, guys, I will catch you on the next one.